Hello my friends, it's Lisa here from Arcaneandstellar. Welcome to my channel. I'm glad that you're here today, and I really hope that this reading is going to help give you some insight. So your last interaction with somebody, maybe you saw them, maybe you spoke, who knows? I'm going to keep it open-ended for all situations. What did they think? What were their thoughts and feelings? What's going on? For some of you, you're going to hear about the current feelings. It just kind of depends on where the reading flows and goes. You are welcome to choose more than one group, for a person, or for a group for each person that you want to ask about. But we've got 4 groups here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. After I'm done with this, I will be doing the shuffling process like White Feather Tarot, whom I really admire. So you can watch that if you want to. If you think it will help you connect better, you're welcome to do that. Next, I want to make an announcement here about YouTube memberships. So I finally have opened it. I wanted to do Patreon for a long time, but I just didn't have it in me for numerous reasons. I kind of spoke about it in my membership announcement. If you join, you'll see that. But I have finally decided to do just YouTube memberships. I don't have to go to a third site. I thought it'd be more convenient. People can just join on here. You get special emojis and badges no matter the tier that you join. Okay, so you'll get some custom emojis, and you'll get a little badge next to your name as well. And they get cooler as you go on, as you kind of are a member. On the $6.99 tier, which is the middle tier, it's called the World tier. You are able to get exclusive pick-a-card readings with me every month. So I'll be doing, and I think I'll be able to do a lot more fun and interesting topics, because I won't be so inclined to please the algorithms. Do you know what I mean? So it's going to be a lot more fun and intimate, and I'll get to know you guys more as well. Even if you choose the $2.99 tier, which is like more supportive, you still get access to posts, and I'll be doing like pick a card, kind of like graphic posts, kind of like on Instagram. But yeah, and then on the 3rd tier, the Sun, which is the last tier, that's $29.99, and it actually includes a reading every month. Okay, so you're gonna get a personal reading from me every month. That is $1.99 more. You get all the other content as well than my actual 2-question reading, because a 2-question reading or a monthly reading with me is $28. So yeah, for $1.99 more, you're getting also all the other exclusive content and stuff like that too. So it's a pretty good deal if you like getting regular readings. But I hope that some of you join. I'm really excited, and thank you for those that have already joined, and I hope to see more, and I'm excited to interact there. So yeah, and we may be able to do some like live streams, topics, that sort of thing, talk about astrology a bit more. I'm really excited for this opportunity. So let's see where it goes. But take care, guys, and let's get started on the reading. I will go ahead and begin that shuffling process. If you feel like you need to, go to your pile already, or whatever you want to do. Okay? Take care and have a beautiful and blessed day. Okay, guys. So I hope everyone that is listening to this part is having a beautiful, beautiful day. Hopefully we get some fun and interesting messages here for this reading. So Spirit guides, angels, and ancestors guide me in this reading for this. What was the overall vibe here for group number 1 the last time that their person saw them? 2, 3. Okay, they've got the enchanted, that's the enchanted map oracle cards. Links are all down in the description box. Let's get a rune. Okay. I am going to go ahead and stop here actually. I want to live shuffle tarot in the groups, but if you are looking now and you want to see if you're feeling more drawn to one specifically because of what we see here, please feel free, to choose now as well. Sorry, that was like a short shuffling process. I want to do more live shuffling. So I just wanted to kind of get something out there. Yeah, so there you go. Hello, my friends. If you chose this first group number 1, we have this particular card here, and it is depicting a lot of different seashells. I'm going to go ahead and take a few channel messages here before we begin. So let me just take a minute. I really do feel like somehow between you and this person that you're asking about, there are many facets to each of your personalities. I do feel that this person thinks of you as having many different sides to yourself. So this doesn't feel like a one-dimensional type of communication or situation. It feels like perhaps this person that you're asking about has seen many different sides and versions of you. And again, it may be that you've, shown anger to this person, or you've shown happiness. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's not a casual kind of connection where everything's just always friendly and perfect, and, there are smiles abound and that sort of thing. I feel like there's a lot of facets to your personality. You're quite a complicated person, and not complicated to mean in a bad way, but just you're diverse. Inside of your personality, there's a diverseness there, is one thing I'm really picking up here. So let's go ahead and continue. So with that being said, let me just set my stone aside. We have the rune, the pentacle. So the pentacle can talk about protection, warding yourself. So to me, this is kind of saying that there's some sort of protective vibe that this person had. Perhaps they were very self-protective the last time that you guys, had an interaction. There might have been a barrier between you, literally. Maybe where you couldn't see their face, as an example, and so you couldn't feel their reaction. They may have also warded themselves in some way up against you, okay? If this was an argument or, something where there was definitely some sort of protective barrier in some way, shape, or form, okay? Whether it was their behavior, their body language, or just somehow the situation went like that. We have encouragement in the reverse. Okay, so I am going to live shuffle tarot, but I did pull this in the shuffling process. This card, you can see it in the beginning. But so this card obviously is in the reverse. And this can talk about, okay, I'm going to read the message for you, and then we're going to kind of talk a little bit more about it. A misstep isn't the end of the world. You've fallen into a trap of false courage, and only humility will lead you out of it. Perhaps you weren't listening to your intuition, and now you're in a jam. Being too self-reliant without knowing the ropes has brought you to this place. Don't be too discouraged. All is well, and you can start again, take another road, and surely discover new territories where love really blooms. Just remember to rely on your higher power. You can't always get what you want, but Spirit knows your needs. Something better waits around the corner. So we have this message of being too self-reliant without knowing the ropes, being too discouraged as an example as well. So somehow this person, the last interaction that you had, they were a little bit like independent, and I think that goes well with the pentacle in terms of like warding oneself or protecting oneself. It's like something about this person, was in some sort of mode of protection the last time that you saw each other. And again, it could be too self-reliant, acting like too passive, too like, I don't care, that sort of thing. So Spirit guides, what were their person's thoughts about them the last time that they saw each other, or the last interaction that they had? What were their thoughts on? We have the Strength card, Dignity. So they may have also sensed something kind of similar from you. It's funny that the Four of Swords wanted to come out. I kind of shoved it back in there, and now the Four of Pentacles came out. So we have that confirmation that, oops, I should have grabbed that. But Spirit's like, no, you need to see this Four. So Four can talk about very stable energy. But to me, the Four of Swords and the Four of Pentacles have something in common in terms of protectiveness. So they may have been sensing this off of you too. Okay, so maybe in some way you guys were mirroring each other in terms of how you're behaving. We have stoic kind of vibes here. So somehow this person was kind of picking, and it's not stoic in like the sense of like aggressive or, but maybe there was a coolness to you the last time that you've interacted, or that's what they picked up off of you. They thought of you as kind of a little bit shut down or a little bit with a barrier. Okay, there's still kindness. We have that Page of Pentacles, so I feel like that there was still some sort of kindness that you were able to show, some sort of gentleness, and there is a very gentle nature about you. They think of you as a strongly aligned, gentle type of soul. Okay, with the Strength card, it seems like, you know, there's respect there, and they had thoughts of respect towards you. Like they thought of you as like showing them respect as well too. Perhaps some of you laid out some sort of information that seemed valid and well-based as well. Somehow, especially if this were an argument, you might have made some good points as an example towards them. You weren't, this isn't flying off the handle energy. It doesn't feel like they took you as like overly emotional or overly, you know, oppressive or anything like that, by the way. Okay, there's a lot of gentleness here. Now, what were their feelings the last time that they had this interaction? What were their feelings with that? So first of all, I'm going to tell you that however this person appeared, especially if there was that protective barrier kind of around them and there was that coolness or that lack of like kind of strong emotion, by the way, we are definitely seeing that this person felt a certain way. Like in terms of like, so the Page of Wands is usually a pretty fiery individual, right? And generally can be outspoken, that sort of thing. This person kind of held some certain things back as well. This could be an expression of passion, by the way, as well. For some of you, especially if there was no argument involved, they might have held back on a flirtatious move that they were wanting to make. Maybe they didn't feel like it was appropriate. Maybe they felt like that was a trap. By the way, the Page of Wands in this card kind of seems a little bit forlorn. He's kind of sad looking, isn't he? And so I feel like there could be, of course, that maybe a bit of sadness that was held back or a disappointment. I don't know. I always just get that vibe off this from the After Tarot, from this page. But yeah, Seven of Swords, this person was feeling sneaky. And I want to say that they kind of were looking back and wondering if you picked up on some of their vibes. Because I see the Queen of Cups here, and I have to say, I feel like this person is considering you the Queen of Cups, regardless of your gender. We have kind of like, I feel like this person felt like they were getting away with something or trying to see if they could get away with something, but they know that you're very intuitive. And perhaps you read really well through them, actually, and they wonder about that. And again, if you haven't read them well, they might have seen you read other people well or be a perceptive, emotionally perceptive person. Yeah. So we have a lot of thoughts that were kept to themselves regarding perhaps, yeah, the relationship. Okay. This person might have felt that they missed out on an opportunity, by the way, in intimacy and opening up. I feel like this person felt like they were avoiding some sort of intimacy. And what I mean by intimacy is not physical intimacy. It could be, okay? It could be that they avoided some sort of physical intimacy. But I think for a lot of you, it might have been intimacy in terms of sharing some sort of feelings or emotion, okay? This person was actually really thinking about connecting towards you deeper. We have the family room. To me, that reminds me of, you know, a very deep kind of like intimate connection. That's an intimate place of the house, okay? And sorry to use the word so much, but I think it just is the best word for the situation that I'm picking up. But yeah, I want to say that this person, they were very much up in their head, overthinking everything. I feel like this person wanted to like do something like grab your hand or make some sort of statement towards a connection or towards kindness or towards loyalty. But it's and I feel like this person, like, they kind of look back on it and they're like, man, I had a chance to open up and I didn't. That's what I really feel here. So that's what that's what I'm really picking up. Let me see what comes out with these cards here. But you may have, for some of you, have had like a good connection actually. Maybe it was just polite, especially if that resonates in terms of like, maybe this was like a first date, or maybe somebody that, you know, you're still getting to know. It might be that they kind of reflect back on it and they're like, dang it, I could have taken a better chance. Or I could have maybe had a little bit more happen. That sort of thing. Okay? We have devotion with the royal lily. It says, your commitment to something will result in achievement and reward. Completion is within reach and happiness is indicated, so there could be a cause for celebration. Acknowledgement is forthcoming for the part you may have undertaken in a community endeavor or in a relationship. This acknowledgement should lead to fulfillment of plans and dreams. Some will find their perfect match, soulmate, or a friend, which makes life seem very rewarding and much fuller. A promise will be honored, and this will bring about a change in current circumstances. Cycles are coming to their end, and new ones are ready to begin. Dreams are becoming much more attainable, as are all present energies. Challenges are broken promises and people not having an understanding of another's focus and source of happiness. Interesting. Affirmation is, I will stay true to my commitments. There could have been a stubbornness for some of you, especially if this was an argument. I want to say that this person may have like been feeling a very stubborn way about them, even though deep down they might have not wanted to be. And I think that they might have regretted it. If it wasn't such a situation where there was like an argument or maybe a disagreement or kind of a bad vibe between the two of you, I want to say that this person wants to show some sort of devotion, and that's kind of what they were hoping in the last moment. But somehow they're having a hard time expressing that, okay? So it can be two different ways. These are pick a card readings, so there's a duality because many people can try to come to these, and so we don't know how many might show up, and I'm definitely picking up that sort of dual message. So you need to kind of apply it as it fits to your connection. I'm getting a strong theme here that this person was protective, okay? So we have that. And then you've got to, like, kind of yourself as a viewer, see, was it an argument situation where this person was kind of feeling a certain way and maybe they were cold and closed off and that sort of thing, but actually deep down they were wanting to connect, to show affection, to show kindness, to show, you know, understanding, and they just weren't able to express that, you know, in a good way. And the same thing goes, like I said, if you didn't have an argument, it's like this person wanted to be open, but they have like such a ward on them. Like they just have a hard time opening up for some reason or another. And I think this person actually looks back with some level of regret because they missed out on an opportunity with you, okay? That's what I really feel, because the thoughts really confirmed it for me. I already felt it with the Seven of Swords, that this was like, and maybe you even gave them a really good opening and they just blew it. I kind of feel like that could be the case too, that some of you like may have really given this person a good opening to connect, and they still missed it for some reason or another. But that is what I'm picking up for those of you that chose this group number 1. I really hope that this reading was helpful in understanding the person on your mind. And I know it's been often requested. If you have any other requests, of course, leave them down below. And I do want to say that we have memberships now. So I have membership on YouTube, so you can join my membership and you will get some exclusive pick a card readings not once per month. Wow, sorry, misspeak. You'll have them about 2 to 4 times a month. It depends too, because honestly, I would like to create a lot more pick a cards where I can do like smaller, because they're going to be only for the membership, so I don't really have to worry about views or like think about what topics people want as a whole. I mean, of course I would worry about what you guys wanted, but I mean, it's more so that I'll have more freedom for topics as well, and I will be listening especially to people's requests, because there won't be as many, I think. You know what I mean? So it's not like with YouTube, like when I'm public, you know? So maybe even more. Like, I mean, I just put 2 to 4 to make sure that I know I can fulfill those promises. That's for the second tier. The third tier actually gets a free 2-question reading or monthly reading with me every month. That's included in the price essentially, which is actually a good deal because you get the badges, you get everything else, and a 2-question reading with me costs $28. So it's $29.99. You're going to get all those extra pick-a cards, you're going to get the badges, you're going to get all the other stuff, plus you get a guaranteed reading every month. So especially for those of you that do get regular readings with me, that can actually be a good deal. So I wanted to make it like, you know, something, a good incentive. So hopefully that's a good one. But if you want to, you can join, and I would love it to see you there. And I think we can also create a more intimate connection there between all of us, and like I'll be able to communicate a lot easier. Sometimes my channel gets overwhelming with the comments, and it's a bit tough for me. But anyway, I hope you have a beautiful day. Leaving a comment means a lot to me, so if you guys can let me know what you thought about the group message, you know, I would love to hear it. But take care, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Hey friends, so if you chose group number 2 here, we have these beautiful butterflies, the caterpillars and the butterfly. It's actually the caterpillar and the butterflies. Wow, I'm such a bad speaker. So we have, I'm going to actually take some sort of channeled message here, and I'll kind of focus on that for a moment, and then we'll get into the reading, okay? So with this group right away, I'm kind of getting this idea of growth, of desiring transformation. I hear the birds really strongly outside of my window right now. I don't know if you can hear it, but I can hear them. I get that from Sleeping Beauty. I know you, I walked with you once upon a dream. That one, I can't sing worth a shit, but that's okay. You guys like me anyway. Anyway, yeah, like, oof, okay, that scene came to my mind, you know, when she's dancing with the owl. Okay, so yeah, maybe fairy tale vibes, or again, maybe you guys are strangers, or maybe there's that, oof, like that instant feeling of recognition or kindness between you. I don't know if I'm picking up on your feelings about this person's feelings about you, but I feel it in general, so I thought I'd say it. So let's go ahead and reveal a little bit more here. So we have got the rune, the mountain. So the mountain implies delays, blocks, obstacles. So maybe for some of you, the last time that you spoke with this person, you saw them, whatever your last interaction was, there was sort of a mountain between you. And so that might mean in a physical distance, you know, way. Or it could be that somehow there was a barrier in your communication, or maybe you couldn't quite meet up or see each other. Maybe you were in the same room but talking to different people. There's definitely some sort of barrier, okay? We have one ring circus. That's really interesting considering the barrier aspect, because that kind of a one ring circus. One person, not one-on-one. Okay. It says, independence is key now. As you step into your journey today, others may not have the vision or resources that you need. Recognize that all wisdom you've acquired along the way makes you particularly competent, capable of moving forward with assurance. Self-reliance is important. Another aspect to consider is creating and maintaining clear boundaries between you and another. Be discerning about partnerships at this time. When you know who you are and have a healthy sense of where you end and others begin, you're able to enter into the best kind of relationships and will attract people who mirror back your wholeness. Interdependent relationships are mutually supportive, stimulating, and transformative. You can achieve anything at this time. Well, I find it really curious that it talks about self-reliance and others may not have the vision or resources that you need. I wonder if for some of you, the last time that you had an interaction, somehow you guys were not seeing eye to eye on something, and that created a barrier. We also have that vibe of the independence, self-reliance. Again, maybe it was a situation where you guys were simply busy and you couldn't really connect. Let me see. So what were their thoughts of you the last time that they, you know, interacted with you? What were their thoughts about you? How are they perceiving you? And what were their thoughts? We have the King of Swords. Sharp-minded. Oof, okay. So here we have an interesting, I feel like somehow there was a disagreement, or there was something about you not seeing eye to eye with this person. How did they see? Well, maybe you were overburdened or overwhelmed in some way, and maybe they couldn't really quite connect to you. That could be the case for some of you, okay? And you'll know if that's your story. Now I'm going to move on to the more likely scenario that I'm feeling. And do know, by the way, these pick a card readings rely a lot on your intuition. So if you get into a reading and you're like, that doesn't seem like it's for me, then you could wait out and see if somehow the message shifts in your direction, or you can go back to the beginning and try to test your intuition once again and see if you get a better result, okay? Now, the King of Swords and the Queen of Cups, very interesting energies, because air and water, not so compatible, right? And with the Ten of Swords in between, I have to say that this person may have perceived you as hurt or going through something heavy. If by chance some of you were sharing, maybe something deep and personal, maybe there was an opening of the floodgates of emotion, or maybe you were sharing some sort of pain with them, they might be, kind of in that, mindset towards you, that you are maybe sharing something very emotionally close to you, that sort of thing. One of you comes off as very logical, and the other one comes off as quite tender and sweet and emotional. Okay, so I don't know which role you're going to fit in, but one of you is going to kind of fit in that role. I have to feel like there was some sort of, maybe there was a message of I'm fine. I had this happen, but I'm fine. So for some of you, this person may see you as quite a tough cookie, okay? Especially if that was the situation, okay? Again, I'm channeling different kind of situations here, so you're going to have to kind of tune into your own situation. But yeah, we may have had tough cookie vibes, okay? Or, going through some sort of level of pain or hurt. Let's see, can we clarify a little bit more about this Ten of Swords? Yeah, there could have been an opening up and sharing of anxieties. There is some sort of, let's see here. And how did they feel about this? Okay, yeah. Let me just see. Well, this person actually felt quite supportive, especially if you were opening up about something. This didn't turn them off or bother them, by the way. If some of you might be wondering such a thing, I maybe gave them a new perspective as well towards you. I don't feel like, we do have the Death card, so there was something very transformative, and I get that here. From the caterpillar to the butterflies, there is some sort of transformative effect that was, but it's not necessarily in a negative way. Here, I feel it could have been a deepening of getting to know each other, that sort of thing. Maybe they learned something about you as well in your last interaction that gave them some sort of food for thought when it comes to you. So what about their feelings? At that time, during that last interaction, how were they feeling? Ooh, Knight of Wands. Excitable. We had some fall down. Oh, okay. Interesting. Well, actually, here's the thing. Look at the Ten of Swords came up once again, and it's clarifying that Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands, of course, can talk about perseverance and strength and kind of sticking to something as well. Sometimes it can be a card that comes through and we're kind of feeling heavy as well. So, but I don't feel like this person felt like somehow you were annoying or anything like that. Please don't think so. It may have been, especially for some of you, if you were in a situation where maybe there was that barrier between you because you couldn't quite connect for long. Maybe there were other responsibilities that were kind of pulling the two of you apart, so you couldn't quite finish the conversation or the interaction in some way. For others of you, though, if something was opened up, maybe there was an opening up of feelings of pain, of shared suffering or some sort of connection happening that way, Well, gosh, I have to say that this person admires you more for it and thinks of you, like I said, like a tough cookie. This person felt perhaps like they wanted to take some sort of leadership in that moment, and that may be because they had other responsibilities at the time or at the moment. This person, for some of you, could have like fatherly like feelings in this situation, by the way, or kind of taking a leadership role here. It's going to be different because it depends on who you're asking about, by the way. For some of you, that could be the case. I don't think for all of you, especially if there's a known attraction between the two of you as well, that you know is an attraction, not what you think is an attraction, okay? Just facts here. But, yeah. Well, this person felt good towards you, but there's still some sort of sadness, and I don't know if it's because you shared something with this person that made them feel sad for you, or maybe if they feel hurt by some sort of action that was done. But I see the person wishes you well, that sort of thing. Maybe if you haven't spoken to this person, maybe I guess it depends on the situation. I would say that this person felt kindly towards you. This isn't like a anger. This isn't like a nothing like that, okay? Like there's no sense of anger or resentment or anything of that nature. More so, it's just a feeling of support, kindness. There could have been quite an attraction as well. Like I said, if it's a fitting situation. For others of you, this might be sort of like fatherly role, sort of like a manly role or a masculine role where one wants to protect the other. Maybe there's a desire to protect you, maybe from certain pain or situations in the future, that sort of thing. Let me see here. Motivation. I'm actually going to get two of these. I just feel like I have to have two of them. Sorry. I want this one right here. Compassion. Yes, compassion. Okay, that makes sense. That makes some sense of what I'm trying to kind of get out. I feel like this person felt some sort of compassion towards you, okay? Is what I feel. So even if it's like a situation, maybe you guys had like a heart-to-heart, but you're not near each other, so it's like they wish they could show you better compassion, that sort of thing. Or motivation, especially if you were sharing something difficult with them. It's like they want to help in some way, I think. Okay, it's time to action your plans and turn them into reality. If seeking the answer to a question, it's a really big positive yes. Focus is very important, and breaking a huge undertaking into smaller tasks and making the commitment to stick to them will assist you. Planning, willpower, and constant application of action are important. Do not put off any decisions or plans at the moment, as it may adversely affect the outcome. Extra activity is indicated and will be very welcome and positive. This could include travel, moving, or socializing. Make sure you do not miss out due to a lack of confidence or through apathy. Interesting. So I wonder what's up with that in terms of like the person and the situation between the two of you, because yeah, we can see perhaps apathy, ruining something, like maybe someone doesn't make the right move. But I don't know. I don't feel like this interaction, I can't quite tell. These are the feelings. So of course, this person felt like kind of creating, like seeing you next time or doing something more. I do think that was there. You could find distractions increase, and so too procrastination, which could put up blocks that are hard to navigate. Of course, there could be a motivating component here. Maybe this person wanted to motivate you, encourage you in some way, or they hope to do so in the future. There could have been thoughts around that, feelings around that. We have compassion as well, port wine magnolia. While this flower has deep connections with all aspects of compassion in general, it is closely aligned with compassion for the spiritual self. It is here that we develop what we can take forward and share with others. Time alone is indicated, but this should be a blessing, not a curse. Take time to nurture and to develop aspects of your higher self. Look after the interests of others is the next step, and that energy is strong also. Community events, programs, situation, and groups, and really stimulating beneficial relationships which grow within. These spaces are all shown with port wine magnolia. Beware of rejection, even repulsion at this time. Analyze where these decisions come from. Try not to take these actions personally. They're not meant to be reflections of what is at the very heart of you. I have compassion for all, including myself. So first of all, I feel a message. If you feel like this person somehow repulsed from you or like not talking to you, I don't think it's because they dislike you. I think that's an important message for some of you to hear that came through, that we don't see this as a situation where the person's not liking you. If they are a bit independent, that might just be their vibe, okay? They may be an independent person, kind of like used to doing things on their own. And so don't take away from the interaction in any way that there's something wrong with you if they do act a little bit distant, if there is that mountain feeling. And again, we think of compassion here. I do think that this person, I already had said it before, that there was maybe compassion or care in that moment, in the last interaction somehow. Even if it didn't seem like that, even if they kind of have a distant effect in terms of how they respond, there was a, deep compassion there. So wow, that's that's kind of funny. Time alone is indicated, one ring circus. Again, maybe this person's off on their own. And some of you may be asking because you're like, what went wrong? I thought we had a good connection. And I there might be a few of you that are kind of asking in that manner. And there's nothing wrong by any means, okay? It could just be the situation. But that is what I'm seeing for those of you that chose group number 2. I really hope that it brought some insight into your connection. I wanted to announce as well, and I'm going to do this in the intro too, but I have memberships now available. So you can join my membership. I have 3 tiers here on YouTube. It's kind of like Patreon, but for YouTube, essentially. And you're able to make a monthly subscription. There's like I've tried to do different price ranges. Each tier kind of offers what the previous tier offers. So if you get the lowest tier, that's $2.99 a month, and you're going to get exclusive posts. And I will do like pick a card style posts and stuff that like it's going to basically be like more like Instagram type of content, but it's going to be personal for the community. And it's more of just a supportive tier. Now, for those that choose the second tier, which is $6.99, that is going to provide all the previous tiers. So you're going to get loyalty badges, emojis like tier number 1, and which is the moon tier, and then the world tier is going to have as well like 2 to 4 at least, if not more, exclusive pick a card readings, okay? So per month. And then the third tier, which is the sun, will include a personal reading, okay? So it's a bit higher. It's $29.99, but a 2-question reading with me costs $28. So you're getting that plus, and 2-question reading or monthly reading, by the way. It can be also like a month ahead type of reading that we'll schedule. But anyway, yeah, as well, you get all the previous things. So you get it for just like $1.99 more, essentially, from what you'd pay for a 2-question reading anyway. So it's a good option for those that like getting the 2-question readings anyways every month, and I have a lot of you that do. So you know what I mean? Anyway, I really, really hope that this reading helped. Let me know in the comments below what you thought, and I hope to see you again in the future. Okay? Bye-bye. Hello, my friends. So you've chosen group number 3 here. Let's get started. Let's get comfortable and cozy and get started. So the person on your mind, I'm going to go ahead and take some channel messages for a moment. Just kind of channel what comes through. I do feel as if somehow in the last interaction there was some sort of knowledge gained in the situation between the two of you. But at the same time, it may have stung a little bit, something about the interaction, because I do notice like on the card that I've chosen for this group that we have like a spider and we have like a wasp type of thing. Like I'm kind of wondering if there's some sort of like venom or like some kind of venomous type of vibe here. We have natural history as well, it says, so I wonder if something kind of went down in history or something related to history, maybe the past between the two of you was somehow brought up or spoken about. We have the key. Now the key rune can talk about silence, lockdowns, secrets, okay? So let's see what else comes through. We have stuck in the mud in reverse. Now I'm going to go ahead, like I did with the other groups, go ahead and read this card, and then we'll start shuffle some tarot and see the thoughts and the feelings. But 24 in reverse, stuck in the mud. When this card is reversed, it reminds you that you're stuck due to your obstinate desire to get what you want, when and how you want it. Perhaps it's uncomfortable to admit that the course of action you've chosen for yourself isn't right for you now. Even so, you have a choice. You can struggle in the mud and get nowhere, or take a moment to observe where you are, then step out, wash away the dirt, dry off, and find other things to do. A much better adventure awaits you. You'll know when it's time to embark upon it. That's really interesting. So it's funny because the key really does talk about like a lockdown, like I said, a secret. It's sort of like keeping information hidden to yourself, that sort of thing. And the stuck in the mud in reverse is sort of like even more stuck in the mud. So I have to say that somehow the vibe of your last interaction didn't feel like it progressed so much. There may have been some sort of general knowledge or some sort of general like, discussion, but I don't feel like it may have been very much somehow connected toward the past. Maybe it was the vibe between you was based on past experiences with each other. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, let's see what this person's thoughts about you were. Okay, so what was their person thinking about them during this last interaction? If you guys discuss the past, this person may have thought that you were highlighting a specific situation that isn't relevant or somehow focusing on something. I see the snake wrapped around the man's waist in the Seven of Cups here, and it feels like there's some sort of binding of toxic sort of behavior or ideas. Maybe it's a toxic belief or a toxic focus on a past event. Maybe if you brought up something from the past, they may be wondering whether or not, oh gosh, okay. If you did by chance, okay, and these are general readings, I'm going to kind of talk about different scenarios because everyone has a different situation, but so keep in mind if it doesn't fit you, it might fit another person, and you'll get your message hopefully in this reading. Now, with the Seven of Cups here, they may have felt trapped in the circumstances, like maybe no matter what they said or did, it's like it's just going to bite them in the ass. Type of thing, okay? So I kind of got that message channeled somehow, like they were stuck, and it might have been their own doing in some way, okay? For others of you, I do feel like I just noticed right up here, this sticks out to me, of course, and I read with this deck all the time in personal readings. I rarely ever feel that this particular cup sticks out to me, actually. I actually don't look at them too deeply usually. And so it's catching my eye, which means that my spirit's telling me there's something there to it. It feels like there's something on display. We have red. It makes me think of maybe jealousy, past anger issues, perhaps. I don't know if there was some sort of situation there highlighting the past. So, yeah. Kind of getting that vibe. Maybe they thought of you as jealous, or they hinted there was something there. There's definitely something kind of difficult, something a little bit dark-sided, not part of our shadow self that was kind of picked up here. I don't know if it was, it seems like maybe they're highlighted on something you did before that's sticking out to them in a toxic way, and it just won't leave their head, or something, I don't know. But anyway, with the Three of Pentacles, there is this thought of like trying to fix things. It's like a teamwork card, right? The Three of Pentacles talks about, teamwork. And so it may be that in collaboration. So it may have been that they thought that you were trying to collaborate on something, or to find a simple solution for something that isn't simple as well. Maybe perhaps you were giving them advice that seemed practical but somehow unable for them to grasp as well for some of you. Maybe it's like, that's kind of the thought I'm feeling. We also have the Knight of Cups, so there could be an emotional side to this, kind of a sensitive side here as well. Some of you may have been practicing something or working together on something, as well, that's intuitive based. What is going on here? Their thoughts around you are actually, I want to say positive, but it seems like somehow there's a practical aspect to this person. Maybe they're not really good at expressing themselves or their thoughts. This person could also have other things kind of going in their life that kind of make them feel stuck, so maybe they're not able to kind of connect the way that they want to as well. They could have thought of you as being kind of careful and guarded on some sort of defense as well. It really complicated, honestly. This group feels the most complicated in terms of like what was going through their head. I feel like it was all over the place. Okay, I'm just gonna say, I feel like it was all over the place. Yeah, the other groups felt so much clearer in terms of what, whoa. I brought out on accident the house from Lenormand. Interesting. Home. The house. It can talk about our inner world. So again, they may have been kind of locked down. Maybe there was some sort of personal conversations or a lack thereof. Maybe they last saw you at your home. We have peace. And to be fair. Well, so here we go. I want to say that somehow they thought of you as being peaceful and fair in nature. Or there was something there. Or they were hoping for it. If the situation, okay, by the way, if the situation somehow was an argument or that there was some sort of like a dispute between the two of you or some sort of imbalance, this person thought the best way to leave the situation was like, it was just to leave, essentially. So if they've put up a barrier or something like that towards a conversation, it may be because they are pulling away due to the fact that maybe they feel like that's the best possible outcome for them. Maybe it brings them the most peace, they might thought that was a wise decision as well. Maybe they thought a patient way of being. And again, maybe that's what you did. Maybe they feel like you pulled away from them because that was maybe the best decision for you. So yeah, it's a really weird situation that I'm picking up here. I can't quite put my finger on what's going on here. On one hand, and I don't know if this will just be a popular group, because that can happen. Oftentimes when I get a lot of mixed weird messages, I tend to find that pile is going to be the most popular one. And so there are a lot of different stories, but what did they think? About a message, about some sort of communications, about what to say, how to say, something you were saying. We have wealthy man as well. And poverty. Well, you could have said something that struck a nerve. There could have been a desire to impress as well. Like, how can I impress this person? Especially if you don't know this person very well. This person's like, how can I kind of impress them? How can I appear to be better than I am? That sort of thing. How can I kind of make something good happen here? That's what I'm feeling in terms of their thoughts. Okay, now what about their feelings? I want to move on to that part because I'm quite confused by the thoughts. It's all over the place. Oh, so confusing. You might be dealing with somebody who's like got a lot on their mind or something. Okay, what about their feelings the last time that they had this interaction? Other person's feelings. Well, we've got a protective. Oh, yeah. Okay, so this person was definitely laden down with something. And, yeah, okay. I feel like this person's feelings weren't on, actually, the last time you spoke. Actually, I'm just going to tell you. And how do they feel towards them, though? Yeah, okay. Defensive. Somehow. Okay. So, we'll get to that in a minute. How did they feel the last time you interacted? There must have been something on their mind. They did feel like they had to hold something back. I think this person actually hasn't told you quite a bit of what they wanted to say in some way. So I feel like for some of you, this may have been a situation where like you tried to open up to this person maybe about the past or about something and they're just kind of radio silent or they're not really talking much. Or, you know what I mean, maybe if they give a little bit, it's just not something that they're really opening up too much about. There's definitely a stuck aspect here, okay, for all of you watching. Like somehow this is not moving forward or they're not moving forward, they're not budging, might be quite stubborn as well. This person feels like they're logically correct in some way, that they're seeing things clearly. I don't know how that's going to make you feel when you hear that, but I'm just going to say this person may have felt kind of burdened though, or had too much on their plate, their mind as well, during the time that you last kind of had an interaction with them, and that may have affected kind of how things went. How did they feel about you? Well, if this was an argument, they definitely felt like you were kind of being aggressive, combative, that they had to defend themselves in some way, okay? Now, if it's not that type of situation, it may have been that they felt quite distracted from being able to pursue or to do much in regards to you. And this could be like outside influences. I mean, this is quite a chaotic card right here, right? The Seven of Wands here is very chaotic. So there's a lot going on. And maybe this person didn't feel like they could, kind of initiate or something like that. They might have also been thinking about the future somehow and relate, because we talked a lot about the past, and somehow the past played a role here in this situation. It had to have, like, in some way, shape, or form for you guys. Again, general reading, so I can't like pinpoint it for exactly for all of you. It's not fair, to try to give everyone the same thing, but there was definitely something from the past that was kind of working its way into this situation, whether it's their past experiences or what. We've got release, Japanese honeysuckle, and emotions. So let's see, the Japanese honeysuckle card, the release card, it says, changes upon you and letting go will be for the best. You have what is needed to transform now. Do not dwell on what was. Look forward to what may be and learn from the past without being stuck there. What the? See, this is like why I like shuffling. Because you see how I was telling you about the past? That was a channeled message on my part. Like, I totally just channeled that from the beginning. And now it's like keeps coming. Like, we keep getting layers. Okay, something about the past, definitely. If you don't resonate with that, if the past wasn't brought up in some way or in the last interaction, or somehow the past wasn't relevant to maybe your connection, then, and this is like a totally new experience, I mean, even if it was a new experience, somehow the past can play in a role, because maybe if they're stuck to their past still, but there's something about that that's really prevalent here. Pleasant memories may have a bearing on situations today, and a chance to reconnect with the person you lost through a disagreement is very strong. Reconciliation is possible, as well as new chances and clarity surrounding things you may have overlooked in the past. Take time to examine what you can let go of and what may be slowly pulling you backwards. Challenges you may face include slipping into melancholy, deep sadness, and regret. Don't let anyone or anything from your past have a negative influence on you. If this occurs, step forward and release. Affirmation is, I let go and I live on. Okay, so what's interesting here, it says that reconciliation is possible as well as new chances. Now, by the way, if this last interaction had anything to do with a reconciliation, of course the past would be prevalent. But that does show that maybe that there is that desire for a new beginning. So if you've reconnected with somebody, or tried to they tried to reconnect with you, and that was your last interaction, I think this person's still looking forward to something in the future. Now, if it were a situation in which maybe something toxic came about, this person may be feeling like it's time to move on. Okay, so it's going to be a little bit different for all of you in terms of, and this isn't me asking exactly where it's going anyway, but I can tell you those messages come through strongly for those situations. Emotions, evening stock. The beginning of something may be very close. People, situations, and ideas receive the attention that they require. Perhaps a boost is needed to get started, or to uncover what may have seemed out of reach. Something will come through via the generosity of very focused attention. Could you also be the one to provide this? Be sure to think of others at the moment, as someone may need your help or guidance, but you may not be aware of this. This also can mean that you're neglecting yourself and failing to be kind to you. Calm is being shown, having a period of settling down after turmoil and a balancing of emotional energies. Challenges are moodiness, emotional manipulation, and volatile outbursts. It's a great time to breathe before you react and take offense. And maybe for some of you, that played a role somehow, needing to breathe, needing to take peace, especially for the argumentative type of interactions that were more like explosive by nature. Some of you may have chosen to step back, which causes person confusion. They might feel like they're stuck in the mud. They don't know which way to go. Especially if you gave a volatile reaction. Again, that might be them kind of like, what do I do here? I don't know what to do. I wasn't expecting that sort of thing. or whatever, but that's kind of what I'm getting here. And let me look and see. I'm going to ask something specific because this group was quite confusing. We have the key there. It makes me feel it's significant in some way. What are their feelings for you now at this moment? For the general population here watching, what are their person's feelings for them at the moment? The Fool. Okay. For the Fool. I feel like for a lot of you, it's going to depend upon where you're at currently. If this is a situation where there was a really negative interaction the last time that you spoke, I think this person's honestly trying to let go. Okay? I'm just going to be real with you on that. I think that would be the case for most of you. Maybe not all of you. If you feel in your heart that I'm not right on that, remember this is general and there are a lot of different questions and different people. So don't that's a personal reading type of question, I think more so, and I'm not trying to entice you to get one with me. I get plenty of them. I don't need, you know what I mean? I'm not in need of selling them. Exactly. But I would just say that just don't take it to heart too much if you feel like that. But if it was a pretty difficult situation the last time that you spoke, they may be trying to move on. And they might think that's the most logical thing to do. Okay? They might be feeling okay, it's time to let this shit go. Now, if you've reconnected and it's kind of a fresh start energy, they are hoping to kind of create a better situation, I think. Okay? They're feeling like they want to kind of let things go, perhaps. Especially things in the past, if there has been some sort of interactions, they would like to ideally let this go and move on, fresh start, that sort of thing, without arguments, without the past bringing itself up and stuff like that, okay? So it just depends on the situation. Hopefully that gives you an idea. And if you have any questions, of course, you can try to ask me in the comments below. I'm not always amazing at remembering everything that happened in a pick a card reading. I will be honest with you, because it's just I do a lot of readings, and so sometimes I just won't remember what's in the group. So you could just remind me a little bit if you want to. But I hope that this helped in some way. And I hope that everything sorts out between you and this person, whatever's going on. And I'm really curious if you want to tell me anything about the situation. Of course, I'd love to hear about that, because I'm just telling you where the stuck in the mud card. And I'll remember a lot easier. But yeah, so I wish you the very, very best. I hope that this found you well, and if you want to join, I have now YouTube memberships open. So we have 3 different tiers, and you get loyalty and badges custom emojis with every tier that I have. But yeah, the middle tier is $6.99 a month, and you'll get a few extra pick a card readings per month from me, and that will be exclusive. And then of course, if you get the 3rd tier, which is the Sun tier, that actually includes a personal reading, which is actually a pretty good deal, because they're $28. You pay $29.99 for the tier, but you get actually all the other things that are in the previous section. So you'll get all the posts and the special videos and stuff like that too. So included. So it's a pretty good deal if you want to, but especially if you like to get regular readings every month. But anyway, take care, guys, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye. Hello, my friends. So if you've chosen group number 4, this is going to be your reading. We're going to find out all about that person on your mind and their thoughts, the last interaction that you had. I noticed that you've chosen the Beetle card, so we have a lot about beetles. And maybe for some of you, it might be wise to look up the meanings of different beetles, or of beetles in general. I think of them as quite lucky, but that's just my thought. Perseverant as well. We have the herb rune, so herbs. I want to say that there could be something healing, going on, because of course herbs heal. There also could have been discussions about that, like a herbal remedy or something like that in your last interaction as well. We have got deep freeze. The deep freeze. Number 26. I'm going to go ahead and read this card, and then we will move on to shuffling and finding out everything else. So everything has its season. Now is a time to put activity on hold while you rest. The cold winter beckons you to slow down and put a freeze on things that are not yet ready to bloom. It's time for regeneration and hibernation. Forgo ambitious activity. A pregnant pause allows ideas to gestate, projects to shift and change, and relationships to go through change, and relationships to go through a dreamy state of being. Not going anywhere, not needing to. This is also time to put all your arguments on ice. Nothing beneficial will come from any of them. Self-care is the most important activity right now, so reflect, read a good book, or get a massage, rest, and dream. Well, certainly I can say that that gives a vibe that, especially if there were any arguments or disagreements, that they were sort of put on ice the last time that you communicated. Okay? Yeah, and with the herbs, that's kind of like maybe a healing, like we didn't bring up the stuff that pissed us off in the past. So hopefully your last interaction with this person was quite good, especially if it's been rough or you've had some sort of difficulty. That's a good sign. And so some of you will know already that if this is your group or not by that. Now, if you haven't had any such problems, this may mean that somehow it was a good conversation, but it didn't really lead anywhere. Or that somehow the interaction didn't really go anywhere. It was still kind of frozen, even if it wasn't negative, right? It's just sort of like maybe not much happened. Okay, let's see. What were the group number 4's person's thoughts about them? The star. Well, you may have actually calmed them down in some way, by the way. So something about you may have been soothing. I hear for some of you a soothing voice, soothing words, things that there might have also been some sort of healing in relation to a difficult situation as well for some of you. Maybe they feel like something was smoothed over. There could be a new beginning, a new chance, that there is some possibility to, remediate the past or kind of get yourself out of certain stuck situations. That's what I'm feeling. Oof. We have the house that tried to come out. It could have been at home when you had this last one. Doesn't mean you're in each other's homes. Maybe you were speaking from your homes in general. Let's see. Person's thoughts. There could have been a bit of nervousness. They may have felt that you were holding back some of your thoughts. They might have also been thinking, what is this person thinking? I can see that they're thinking that, what are they thinking? We have thinker, loyal heart, and co-create. There may be two different speeds here when it comes to the two of you. You may have a little bit of a different speed. I noticed that with the cheetah here and the owl. You guys operate on instinct. You're both very intelligent, but you both operate in very different ways. I do feel like that somehow this person thought of you in a thoughtful way. I feel like they felt that you displayed some sort of thoughtfulness. Maybe you gave them keys or connections or clues that somehow you're still into them, or you are into them, or that somehow there's a good vibe here. I do think this person saw you on equal footing in some way. As a powerful person, that sort of thing, okay? Now, again, for some of you may have actually helped them through something. Yeah, that's funny. Look what tried to pop out. It tried to fall down. A leg up. So maybe you actually helped them through something. And we have never-ending story right there. Those two cards tried to pop out together. And again, maybe you helped them through a never-ending story. And never-ending story often relates to the stories that we tell ourselves, like the negative stories, the anxieties that we have, that sort of thing. So I'm guessing some of you may have helped them actually through an anxiety attack, for some of you specifically. Now, that won't be for all of you, but because maybe you didn't perceive it that way at the time. But do you know what I mean? So you might not be aware, but you may have actually helped this person ease their mind in some way as well. Again, this may be easing up the past. Maybe this is about something that they were really not sure about. I do think that this person feels in some way that you haven't quite said everything, that you are holding back. There may have also been an appreciation if you showed constraint in some way, by the way. If you had a previous argument, I could see this person thinking, oh man, I'm glad that they showed restraint. They could have been a lot worse to me. You know, that sort of thing. At the same time, I would say that, again, this can also show up as you kind of guiding them through a difficult time. Maybe in some way this person feels like they haven't thanked you enough or expressed something enough, or you haven't, or you feel that way. Okay, remember, these can kind of go either way, so it could be describing your feelings as well sometimes, a little bit. Okay, now what about their feelings? The last time that they saw you, what were their feelings, or their last interaction? Again, okay, this person held back a lot of their feelings. They might have felt more excitable, or I'm going to see what this tower is about. They were somehow holding back. Maybe it was a level of excitement that they were having, because we have the World there. There comes the Strength card again. Like, wow, this one is definitely coming up here. The Strength card is a beautiful card in terms of reconciliations as well. This can talk about loyal commitments and loyal situations. Maybe there was a feeling of loyalty that you were showing to them, or that they were showing to you in some way. There was some sort of connection expressed, and to me that it reminds me a lot of a soulmate in some way. So I thought I'd say that. There's a lot of restraint here. Maybe you were patient. Maybe they deserve to be bitched at, or they did something that was kind of annoying or something like that, and they're kind of like, wow, I really feel like this, you like showed me some sort of like favor, or that you were nicer to me, or that you put up with me. And again, this can be their own self undoing, like maybe where they think of themselves poorly and they don't think they deserve your time or energy. Okay, like maybe they feel like in some way that they deserved a harsher reaction. I do feel like this person, though, isn't moving. They don't feel like moving towards anything. It's like very slow cards with the Deep Freeze, Seven of Pentacles, the freaking Hanged Man, the Strength card. These are all very slow moving cards. So I don't think this person's feeling like rushing into anything, especially because those things sort of trump the excitable energy of like the Tower. So I feel like this person is like feeling as if they shouldn't make any sudden moves, like they should be careful. Maybe sudden moves haven't been worthwhile for them in the past. Maybe they've tried to move past these sorts of energies. There could have been a lot of feelings of restraint on this person's part about their own anger or their own past connections or whatnot as well. Let me see here. Interesting. Two cards came out. We have Achievement, Chago, and Preserve, Silver Ghost. Interesting. Silver Ghost. So the Achievement card says, your personal efforts will be rewarded, so keep going. Perhaps you could focus on personal development at the moment to assist you in something you want to achieve. Leadership is indicated in your interaction with someone or your own leadership and management. Interesting. A management vibe, a leadership vibe, taking kind of control. Community and groups could be a great source of inspiration and assistance to get you where you're headed, and you could find yourself publicly praised in some way or needed by a community. Cooperation is necessary, and the part you play in the relationship is extremely important. Be careful of defeatism, which can creep in at moments when you are close to achieving and succeeding. Those last steps are the hardest and longest because they set us up on a firmer step to the next level. Affirmation, I really can do this. I have to say, I feel like for a lot of you, there must have been an interaction where you encouraged this person or somehow gave them a nod, like, hey, you can do it, or some sort of pat on the back. I want to say that if you did, especially for those of you that did, Spirit's telling you this was important for them. Like, your words mean a lot to them, that your encouragement means a lot to them. They need that, okay? So that's just a special message for those of you that have found that you've tried to encourage this person a lot, that it's working on them, that it's making them feel better, that it's giving them new perspectives, okay? Just important. Okay? Preserve. Okay, sorry. Preserve, Silver Ghost. Perhaps it's time to withdraw a little in order to look after yourself. There could be a storm coming and it will test you, so try not to get lost in the frantic energy of others. Quiet and focused time alone will bring enlightenment, especially in the form of meditation or simply doing something on your own. Be true to yourself, particularly when seeking solutions and making plans. There will be a need to look after something, especially yourself, more carefully. Don't completely isolate yourself because you find that you may miss out on what you need at the moment. Stay connected with others. The danger of losing relationships altogether is possible. Challenges are becoming completely withdrawn or adversely selfish. Interesting. So there's that deep freeze energy coming through. It's like quite confusing because it feels like maybe there's some aspect of this person that does this. Maybe they withdraw. I have a problem with that myself, actually. When I'm having a hard time, I withdraw even more. So it's like I just shut everyone out. I'm like, goodbye, everyone. I just need to be alone forever when I'm having a hard time. And maybe that's a vibe here for someone. Like for the person, maybe it's you. Maybe they feel like you do that. Like you pull away when they want to help you or return something in some way. So make sure you're not doing anything like that, okay? Stay connected with others. The dangers of losing relationships altogether is possible. So maybe there's some sort of danger here about not keeping up or something. We have home again. Hey, knocking that card off. Staying at home. Yeah, and you know, this To the Sea card reminds me of not taking enough direction. I want to say that this person, if they are quiet and maybe you're wondering why, don't feel like it has anything to do with you. It might be that they need time to breathe for themselves. They need to find their direction. The one thing about To the Sea is that she's not really checking or controlling her ship. Okay? So this person may not be in a place where they feel like controlling much of anything. And that might be why we're getting these very slow moving vibes. Maybe they're just taking it slow, taking it easy. I don't feel like this person. I'm going to go ahead and take some cards and see maybe how they're feeling for you at this time. Like this present time in general. So not related to necessarily the past interaction, but more like what's their vibe towards you right now. And we'll see what comes through. Spirit guides. Oh, well, this is kind. Strength and Knight of Cups. The Justice card. Well, I can't say that this person is having any negative feelings towards you by any means. This person might feel like this is the way that they are. They might not see it as a problem if they've acted in a way that's like, bothered you. I don't feel like it's coming from anywhere vindictive or difficult. I feel like both of you kind of get along quite well. We have earth and water energy here showing compatibility to me. And justice, again, a balanced nature. I think this person really cares about you and likes you in a genuine way. I don't feel like this is a situation. Maybe there are some fears that you help them with or that they want to help you with. But I don't feel animosity here. I don't feel... Again, maybe they need some time. Okay? So if you are over analyzing maybe a past interaction, don't take anything personally. I really don't think so. I feel like this person, you're on the same level. I think they admire your strength and maybe your compassion towards them, that sort of thing. I really don't feel anything negative here. Any other final message? Healing heart, healing from heartbreak, freedom from toxic relationship or addiction. Again, maybe there's some healing going on here. Yep, sabotage, rebuilding, rebuilding, healing, herbs. Come on now. Maybe this person just needs some time. Especially if there was some sort of a problem here in life. We have axe and engagement ring. If there's been, that can talk about breakup, separation, stop the pattern, silent treatment, abandonment. Again, the axe, maybe if there's something axed out of their life or, something that was important to them in some way. But yeah, I don't feel like this person has any ill feeling toward you, by the way. Like really. Balancing male and female energies, peace and harmony. Yeah, no. So I think some of you don't overthink this person's actions. I think that the last interaction was actually quite positive for them. And, if by chance you're just asking this because they haven't spoken to you or maybe it's a bit quiet, don't worry. It has nothing to do with anything that's negative. Okay? I think this person thinks highly of you. Okay. Anyway, I really, really hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope to see you again in another reading. By the way, I have memberships open now on my YouTube channel, so you are welcome to join if you want to. There are 3 different tiers, and each tier will get loyalty badges next to their name in the comments. They'll get custom emojis, which are really cute, and if you pay for the $6.99 subscription, you will get extra pick-a-cards that are exclusive to that tier. And if you get the third one, you get the pick-a-cards, exclusive pick-a-cards, but you also get a personal reading, 2-question or monthly reading every month. So if you get those regularly anyway, it could be a good deal because you basically are just paying $1.99 more than a 2-question reading or monthly reading. And you're getting all the other exclusive content. So, something to think about if you want to. But I thought I'd announce it, and I wish you all the very, very best, okay? Take care of yourselves and have a beautiful, lovely, wonderful day.